Hey everyone, it's Adam here. Yeah, the bike is not quite how it should be right now, but it's necessary to keep it this way to show you this video. So the Thinkware M1 dash cam, I did an unboxing, it went horribly, and now we've installed it, and the next video will be obviously video clips from it, but I can't do those until we start riding, which is probably going to be like 6 months from now at this rate. So I want to show you guys how we installed it on the GS Adventure. I can't tell you how to look on an F750 unless you guys want to send me a second version of it. If you send me another one, Thinkware, if you're listening, if you send me a second one of these, I will install on the F750, but you know, I doubt they'll do that. Okay, so if you go on eBay, you can actually find these awesome, they're GoPro mounts, and then you can unscrew the actual GoPro thing and instead install the Thinkware M1 on it. So you can see there how that looks. So that's the front facing version. You need kind of a drip line here to come down. I've got it tweaked into right there, but it's a pretty stout location. The camera comes with a dual-sided kind of 3M adhesive, and so I still did some backup zip ties just in case, but I don't think you'll need them. I've had really good luck with 3M adhesive doing like wonderful things. So I have this coming back under there. You can see it kind of right there. And then I have it running down, and it's zip tied right here, and it comes down, and then it comes back up here. So it's kind of following this little, this is underneath the fuel tank. If you have the fuel tank installed and you're doing the install, you could, there's other creative ways, but I really like doing these kind of installs with the fuel tank removed. It's just obviously much cleaner, but of course you have a lot of shit to remove. But hey, if you're already doing a front shock install, then you know, it's the only way to do it. So I had that run down. We've got kind of a little wiring harness thing made here. This comes back and then comes up, and this is our front camera right there. That's the front camera of the M1. There's the rear camera of the M1, which you see right here is dangling around. So you can see there how that works with the 3M double-sided adhesive. This is going to be installed right here. That's going to be underneath the top box on the rear of the bike, facing that direction. That's that'll go. I've got it hanging down for now because, you know. Oh, and so how I ran this through here. So those of you that are new to all this, you've got to remove that upper luggage grid completely to get this access. Once that's done, there are these 3 pins. See right there? You can pick. There's one, and there's 2 more on the bottom that you have to pick. So let's go underneath. You can see those. Yeah, they're right there. And so once those 3 are removed, then you can actually pull back this brake light off, and obviously be mindful because there is a cable right in there. And then you can snake this right through. You can snake it straight from the bottom any way you want to. Basically, it's a nice way that whenever you reinstall that top luggage grid, the cable will be nice and hidden. If you run your cables over this rear subframe, they will be pinched when you screw down the luggage grid, or pillion grid, whatever you want to call it. So then back here, here's our second camera kind of loomed up right there. I don't really have a lot of places to put it, but there it is. And then here is your Thinkware box. So as far as the other parts here, we've got running forward to here. We've got an SAE cable coming off the battery. Well, no, sorry, the SAE cable is coming. So we have here, it's a PDM60 basically. And what I found out is, you know, PDM60s are there to act as kind of like a fuse and a power on-off module in one. So they have a trigger wire that's here that detects if the bike has been turned on. When they do, they boot up and they pull enough power from the battery to power each electronics that are connected to them. But these electronics have different amperage levels. It's a cool thing to have on the bike. And it's absolutely essential that you use this for the Thinkware M1, because if you don't have some kind of an on-off switch, it would ostensibly run all the time, and then you would be draining your battery. So PDM60 detects a trigger, it sends power to SAE, and what's funny is all of my devices now, my heated seat controller, my Qi charger, and my Thinkware M1 use SAE ports. So you've got them right here, and then that SAE port is obviously powering the box. This box here has I don't want to take too much damage here, but there's basically a Over here, a USB, sorry, an SD card slot right there. And then, unfortunately, the way they designed this is these cables are all fixed. They're all going into the body, so you can't trim them. I would love to trim these cables. We've got a lot. We don't have a lot coming from the front camera because we went all the way from front to rear, but we do have a lot for the rear camera. So, but yeah, so that's, oh, and then finally, you'll see there's one more cable coming out of here, right? Where does that go? Well, that goes into this little loom that we made right here, this little wiring loom. The reason why I didn't integrate the heated seat controller into the looms because the heated seat controller fails every year and I have to replace it under warranty. So I decided not to wire it in. But basically this comes up, splits out. This little guy comes up right there. We use the harness for the brake lever and then come up and behind. Let's trans over here. Come up and then behind and then boom. What's that button? Well, that button, so when you're running the bike, the Thinkware M1 is always recording front and rear. When you click the record button, what it's doing, it's using my SW Motec mirror extenders. I thought about putting it on the brake reservoir, but it's probably best that I didn't. It's always recording. When you click the record button, what ends up happening is it saves the last 1 minute and the next 1 minute. So it saves a 2-minute clip. As a clip that will not be overridden by the continuous recording feature. So continuous recording is always recording until the SD card is filled up, and then it starts over again and re-records. So you always have the last like 10 hours of video, depending on the card size. But with this button, you're saving it as a manual record. The top button is basically just telling the Thinkware, hey, turn on your Wi-Fi. I want to connect you with my smartphone and download a clip that happened 4 hours ago, or one of the manually saved clips. This is a really nice kind of like billet aluminum kind of texture with a little bit of anodization applied, and it is of course waterproof. You don't want to, shouldn't have made that hard, but hopefully that doesn't come out. Anyway, that's the setup. That's the Thinkware M1 setup on the GS Adventure. We thought about putting that button somewhere underneath my seat, like maybe down like right here or something, but you know, the cable was so long, like this is the whole length of the cable. It goes the whole length of the bike to there anyway. So I figured, well, let's use the cable as opposed to trying to figure out a place on the bike. We have to, you know, manage it. Cool, sounds good. Thanks for watching, everyone. And I look forward to sharing some of the clips with you. I think it's gonna be a much better dash camera than my last one. Rock on, ride safe.